Hey everybody, Sensible Living Podcast and Blog, SLPB episode 14, Emergency Preparedness Binder. So, the concept of this is in the event of an emergency, having an emergency preparedness binder will allow family members, your teenagers, your spouses, your grandma, grandpa living with you, roommates and stuff, whoever's living with you, you can actually set up a binder of important documents and basically a operational manual of what to do in a certain event. So, obviously, if you just have roommates and stuff, you really don't want to have them having access to the important documents. But, your spouse, your kids, stuff like that, having access to, say, certain emergency documents, photocopies of driver's license, birth certificate, social security numbers, all sorts of stuff like that, is kind of important to have done. And maybe a step-by-step process of what to do in a blackout. I mean, if the teenagers are home. So what to do in an emergency situation such as, a blackout, okay. Everyone knows, boom, blackout, get your flashlights, boom. You're home alone, get your flashlights, immediately go to where the emergency preparedness binder is. The EPB. Go to your EPB. Everyone knows in the family where it is. Boom. What to do. Okay? Don't panic. Sometimes you gotta let people know. Don't panic. Be calm. Breathe deep. Woosah. 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 So, making sure they're not gonna panic and having a step-by-step, turn off all the computers. Well, the power's out. I don't have to turn them off. They're all right. No, turn power off the computers and the surge protectors, stuff like that. So, turn off the surge protectors and stuff like that. So when everything powers on, it's not a jolt into the system. So, having that is a really good idea. Turning off televisions so that they don't power up right away. You want to turn everything on slowly. So have everything turned off. Make sure I personally always leave like one light on, so when it comes back, oh, hey, usually, you hear the furnace, hear the AC, but so that it looks good, so the timing and everything looks good. When it comes back on, you know what's going on. Boom, oh, power's back. But in that time, have them go to the folder. Don't panic. Get a board game, get the playing cards, get the candles, get the emergency LED lights, whatever you have set up. Get the battery, make sure you have your Anchor battery packs available for your electronics. Yeah, I mean, we live in an electronic age. You're going to want to have that battery pack for your, for your phones, for your iPads, your minis, your Android stuff. Check with your local power company. My power company has an app. So if the power goes out, I can literally check my app and it will tell me. It'll even give me an approximate time. Usually takes them about 30 minutes. Oh, hey, look. Oh, a transformer got hit by, I don't know. And boom, drunk driver hit a transformer, power's out for the block grid. We're looking at an estimated 3 hours repair time. Okay, I'm without power for 3 hours. Okay, this is what you need to do. Contact mom, contact dad, whatever. Sit tight, don't do anything, don't open the refrigerator. Have your rules set up aside. In the event of a fire, obviously, if it's in the house, get out of the house, and everyone should be trained. Everybody should be trained on what to do in the event of a house fire. What do you do? Know your rules. Know the evacuation points. In the event that there is you're separated, where do you meet? Have a meeting place. This is information that you should have in your EPB. You should have it in there. So go over it once a month with the kids as a reminder. I know families, they have fire drills once a month. They actually have a fire drill. Fire, middle, 9 o'clock now on a weekend. Fire, fire, fire. Get the kids. Oh my God, and dad's sitting there with a loudspeaker and a bell and making them nervous and everything. Crawl, getting them to crawl out of the house. I've even seen parents blindfold their kids and have them do that, because if there's smoke, you're not going to see. This is actually smart things to do with your family, so you don't have that tragedy. Little Timmy didn't make it out of the house. Mom didn't make it out of the house. These are tragedies and thoughts that we don't want to face, but we need to talk about them so that we're aware of them and we're prepared to do something about them. That should be a part of your, your emergency preparedness plan. But your emergency preparedness binder should have, honestly, what to do in every single event. And I know it kind of sounds crazy, but have something in there for the super volcano. Have something in there for your EMP. Have something in there for, a nuclear, attack or whatever. We don't want these things to happen. I have fire extinguishers in my house. Guess what? I don't want a fire in my house, but I have them just in case, because, I rather have them and never need them than need them and not have them. It's the same way I feel about firearms. I mean, it's plain and simple. And anymore, honestly, you should have in your EPB what to do in the event of a mass shooting in your area. We don't know. You might have some crazy person pop up and start firing shots in the neighborhood. You don't know. You may have a police shootout. That's happened. Guys, criminals start shooting out with the police. What are you to do in that situation? You should have that ready to go. And that's what the emergency preparedness binder's for. So you pop it open, everyone knows exactly what they need to do, where they need to be, locations. And you don't just have it in your house. I have one in my car. You should have one in your kid's car. If your kid is driving by, and in that, have things in the event of flat tire, in the event of a dead battery, in the event of running out of gas. These are the steps you need to take. And in there, have it hidden but an easily to get to place that the family knows. Have a photocopy of the driver's license, the insurance, and all that information. Have a photocopy of the AAA card and all that. And honestly, this is not a push for AAA or anything like that, but if your teenagers are driving a car, if your spouse is driving a car and they're not mechanically inclined, and get AAA. Seriously, have AAA on the vehicles. What is it for, the full package? Like, what, $160 a year? Come on, for peace of mind? It's awesome. I have AAA. I locked my keys in my car one time. Called up AAA. They came, boop, popped my lock. Thank God, because the locksmith wouldn't help me. I couldn't get the coat. I couldn't get the coat hanger in there, and I didn't have a Slim Jim. I carry Slim Jims now. But the point is have that emergency plan. Have that information. Also, when you're doing the photocopies of all the information, store them digitally as well on a USB drive. Throw all that information in a, in a safe. All my wedding certificates, birth certificates, vaccination records, all those important documents that you need to have. Your homeowner's insurance, renter's insurance policy. I don't know, your lease. Have a copy of your lease on digital file as well. Have this stuff. Take some family photos and stuff like that. The more the precious ones, the ones scan them, slap them on a USB drive, throw them in your safe. Have a USB drive inside of your emergency preparedness binder, your EPB. Have that information there. This is stuff that you may need. Oh no, where's all that info? Oh, it's in the EPB. It's all packed up. And when you move or something, that EPB goes in the vehicle with you and is moved to the new place immediately, or one of the extra copies. And you're not going to just have one, you're going to have multiple copies of this information. So, let's say out and about, super zombie volcano hits. What do we do? I don't know what to do. You know, the kids are at work, and mom and dad, they're at work, and everyone's separate. Okay? We have that. Everyone's there. Have a meeting. Where you meet. Have your location. Have your bug out location. Where's your bug out? You know, where is your shit hits the fan community location? You know, and we're going to talk about bringing up and setting up a community and things you might want to consider when you build your community. There's a lot of different aspects to doing this, and you know, there's certain little things that you might not think of. It's like, if you're going to leave and head to the mountains, do you have land that you're going to go to? Do you have family property you're going to go to? How much property there? You know, we will definitely have a show on setting up community and what you need to do to set up your community and why you need to have a community. It goes back to the whole, you're not going to be a lone wolf. You're just not. You know, get over that. You know, just get over it. So your EPB, you know, you'll have a topographical map. Don't count on GPSs. Don't count on your electronics. Teach your kids how to read the old school paper folding maps. If you don't know how to read one, learn how to read one. You know, this is important stuff, because if electronics go out, if there's, say, an EMP or something, and, you know, you're walking, you got to know how to read a map. You know, some basic navigation, compass reading skills. Know north, south, east, and west. You know, and if you're in a different state, you should know identifiers, north, east, west. You know, you should know these things. Okay? So, that's all part of your EPB. You know, that emergency preparedness binder should, you know, have maps of the areas, local maps, downtown, you know, for me, downtown Denver. I have a state map. I also have a topographical recreation map. I have, you know, topographical maps specifically to areas that I know that I would bug out. And, you know, this is old school, go to REI, you know, punch in the coordinate you want. It prints out the topographical map, and it was like $8 a map. And it was on waterproof paper. And I still have those maps. The area I have is for 11 Mile Canyon. Used to go there all the time for camping and everything. I don't do it anymore because it's all pay sites, and you know, I do dispersed camping, backcountry. You know, as I always say, I don't pay for camping. That's already in my tax dollars. So I go to dispersed sites. You know, there's no vaulted toilets or anything like. No running water there. There's a stream. I throw in a water purifier, you know, boil water and all that. That's my camping. You know, I try to rough it as much as possible. Yeah, we bring our vehicles. As I always said, this is my bug out. This is my bug out bag I'm in, you know. With Recon Overlanding, Recon 2, this is the bug out vehicle. That's, you know, part of the whole reason we do Recon Overlanding as well with Sensible Living Podcast blog, is that is part of the community. That's part of the group that in the event that we have to get out of the city, we have that. What is it we know how to get out of the city? What is it if it's just a local a snow emergency? You know, also maybe an idea of having in the binder, having a little extra cash, have a little cash wallet, one of those little sleeves that slip in the binder. Have some cash. Oh man, we really could use this, and we don't have any credit cards because of power outage, but have some cash, whatever, you know. The ideas and what you can put into your EPB is pretty much unlimited. It's only limited by your knowledge and your scope of what you're preparing for. But having these things in your home, in your cars, your RV, your campers, it is helpful to everyone in the family. It helps people maintain a sense of calm in a situation where they may not be calm. And remember, one of the first things on the front page you might want to put, don't panic. It's all good. Have emergency phone numbers there too. A couple years ago, I was out and about, went to my car, click, the battery was dead. Click, battery's dead. Oh, great. Oh boy, my battery's dead. I'm 5 miles from home. I'll call the wife and let her know. Uh-oh, my battery's dead. I don't have my phone with me. I didn't have my cell phone. I left it at home. There's a payphone. What is... I know my cell phone number. I didn't even know my wife's cell phone number. I didn't know my daughter's cell phone number. I didn't even know my parents' phone number because I had become so accustomed to that cell phone and that contact list that back in the day when I used to be able to rattle off 20 phone numbers of friends and family, I knew them. Boom, 20 phone number. Boom, boom, boom. 10 phone, boom, boom, boom. I knew them all. Couldn't remember them. Couldn't remember them. I walked 5 miles. And here's the thing, in the snow. Luckily enough, I was smart enough to always have emergency snow clothes and stuff in my vehicle because I was not dressed for the weather. I had sneakers on. It was just a quick run, and when I came out, it was a wet spring storm. I got to walk home in that, and it was coming down. It was coming down. Oh, I have my Sorels. I'm good. Oh, I got a hoodie. Long sleeve shirt. Okay. I bundled up. I walked home. I bundled up. Yep. Didn't know anyone's phone number because it was all in my cell phone. Got home. Wife's like, oh my God. Yep. Go tomorrow and get it. Went down the next day. Turned out battery really wasn't dead. The positive connector was loose, but I was so like, oh my God, my battery's dead. I can't believe this. I was just like flabbergasted. When I went to put it on, I was like, oh my God, it's loose. Tightened up, fired right up. Had I kept my calm and don't panic, I would have known to pop the hood and check that, and I could have tightened it right there because I had tools. Even had jumper cables. There was no one at the store, no one willing to help. All right then. We learned a lesson. So one of the first things I do whenever my car battery doesn't work, I check the battery connectors. You might want to add that to your EPB. Check your battery connectors before you assume the battery's dead. It was an older car. If I remember correctly, I think that was my old Isuzu Rodeo that happened in. But you know what? With that, we are done. You have a fantastic day. We'll catch you next time. Peace to everyone.